Welcome back to Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, the show where, everybody gets money. Oh wait, no, that's not my show. Wrong show. No, sorry. We are the Golden Ticket podcast, hosted by myself, Ashleigh of the Movie Oracle YouTube channel, and Dan Jensen of Movie Talk with Dan Jensen, also another YouTube channel.
Yeah!
And on this interesting little podcast, the main goal of the podcast is, of course, to talk about the latest episode of my movie trivia game show, Are You a Movie Oracle? And then we kind of often go off on tangents, talking about some really random shit.
Yeah, it's like 90% random shit and 10% game show.
Yeah, pretty much. We at least try to start with the game show, get you in with the real stuff before we lead on with the crap.
Mm-hmm.
Today, if we can, we're going to talk about the latest Redemption episode, which was Daniel versus Nick. And I'm gonna try, because I don't know how you're doing today, Dan, but today is not a good day for me.
Well, speak for yourself. I'm having a great day. I'm here doing this. I've got my cup of coffee in my R2-D2 cup. And, beautiful weather today as well. It's a really cool day, so I'm perfectly happy. I'm living the dream.
Oh, well, there you go. Someone's having a great time. I wish that I could say the same. I was up till 7:15 in the morning to record the game show episode that is not yet up yet, because I've only just recorded it, and if you thought the Bongo guest appearance was a shitstorm in technical difficulties, this has topped everything.
Oh boy,
this
what
morning
happened?
Topped. I'm not going to get into it today because I'm going to need an entire podcast for that. But let's just say shit happened, stuff is missing, I'm going to have to push myself in editing creativity. I've shattered my phone.
Wow.
It's not good. So when we started this call and you're having technical difficulties, I was just like, that's it. I'm just going to throw myself into a volcano. I'm done.
No. Everything that happened on my end was just easily fixed, within minutes. So, yeah, nothing to worry about.
Please don't say those words after today. There's a dark cloud looming over this house, and I feel like anything else is going to happen. Besides a cracked phone, I had the fiberglass of my phone go into my hand, so, I'm just like, I'm there on camera, and I'm just like, okay. I'm not going to say what else could go wrong, because something will go wrong, and I'm just like, my finger hurts, and I looked over and I'm like, oh, there's a piece of glass in my finger. Of course there's a piece of glass in my finger, because why the fuck wouldn't there be?
Well, see, this is going to be a great episode because you're bleeding for your craft. You're actually it's not often that YouTube videos or the creation of them actually lead to medical situations. So, you're pioneering something here.
That is true. I don't have your typical technical disasters where it's like, oh, I didn't record the audio. Oh no, my something failed and I've lost all my footage. I have those.
Yeah.
But I also have to take it to the next level, like YouTube Extreme.
Yeah. YouTube Extreme, I like it. When we actually have to wearing helmets and body padding and stuff in order to do YouTube videos. Wow.
I may have to. Aside from getting fiberglass in my fingers, I'm remembering a time when I was recording, and I even posted a video where I'm just like, oh my god, I've had so many things go wrong while trying to record, and this was a couple years ago. But it was funny because I have this lamp behind me. Where we go? Yeah, there we go.
Oh,
it's a regular lamp. It's just a basic living room lamp, kind of shit you'd get at IKEA. It's not special, but it's what I use for lighting because it's the only thing that I can get that I can afford and goes with my setup.
Right.
And the last one I had, which worked great, better than this one actually. And I was recording, things were fine, and as I'm recording, I'm going, do I smell smoke? What is that? And I'm like, no, Mom's just probably cooking something. Went about my business. I'm like, no, that smell is, I'm definitely smelling smoke. Either that or I'm having a stroke. What is going on? And then I looked, and out of the actual part on the lamp where the dials are, I could actually see smoke sizzling out of it. And I went, oh shit, my lamp is on fire. So I turned everything off and unplugged it, and I went, I nearly just burned down my entire room. Okay.
Wow.
So,
well,
yes.
There you go.
I've started fires.
YouTube Extreme.
I've started fires. I have cut myself. Not in the psychological issue way. And so, yeah, I bleed and burn for the crowd.
Heck yes you do. So there you go, everybody. You need to subscribe to this channel right now because there is literally blood, sweat, tears, and a nearly burnt down house that has gone into the creation of these videos. So I, on the other hand, don't really have anything that I can claim as far as personal injuries or near property destruction.
Well, I feel like you've got the sweat covered more than I do.
Oh,
we know how badly you were sweating after the bongo incident, where it was like you were out in a tsunami. Could have had a torn rotator cuff, that could have happened.
It could have. Look, well, I've got the sweat part covered, just not the blood or tears. I don't think I've ever personally injured myself, and I mean, you know me, I've never cried over anything. If there's problems, to quote the great Vanilla Ice, if there was a problem, I'll solve it. So
oh, you're on a Vanilla Ice roll and an MC Hammer roll after doing some karaoke for your birthday, eh?
Well, no, to be fair, I've been on a Vanilla Ice roll since about 1991 or something. Yeah.
Funny, so is Vanilla Ice.
I am not ashamed to admit it. I know the guy started off with really cheesy, pop-friendly, or radio-friendly pop rap and stuff, but not many people realize he actually then went on to, the guy who produced Korn's stuff. Actually got together with him, and then he produced a couple of metal albums, new metal, and then he's gone on to do a whole bunch of sort of diverse stuff. People just sort of, I mean, obviously he's been riding the Ice Ice Baby bandwagon since then, but he has actually done a lot of other really good stuff. So no, credit where it's due. MC Hammer, on the other hand, he had one good song, and that was pretty much it.
Well, two in my book. Can't touch this is not my number one. That ain't my number one MC Hammer song. Hell no. Adam's Groove,
I do know
baby.
what you're. There we go. Yeah, that's all right.
I had people dare tell me, they said that's the shittest movie theme song ever, and I went, excuse me? How dare you?
I wouldn't say it's the shittest, but yeah. Although I did have that song. Didn't he have a song on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles soundtrack? And it was called
Vanilla Ice did.
No, that was Turtles. No, that was Turtles 2. I'm talking about the first Turtles.
Nobody cares about the first Turtles.
Oh, This Is What We Do. Yeah, actually, that was a good song. But anyway, no one knows that one.
I don't remember. I sold that DVD when I was desperate for money.
You could have sucked dick or something. Why did you get rid of that? Jeez, that went to a...
Look, I've got enough people around the world already wanting me to suck their dick, and they ain't letting me charge them for it either. So...
well. You're talking to the wrong crowd then.
Well, you probably got a point there.
I was supposed to be talking about a game show or something.
Yeah, we are. We should probably get into that. So...
We probably should.
It was If you have not seen it, I don't know why the hell you're here.
I don't know.
The recent episode, Are You a Movie Oracle?
Was I supposed
Daniel
to see
versus...
Oh, shit. Never mind. Yes, please, continue. Yeah, great episode.
Daniel versus Nick was intense. Intense.
Oh, from what I saw, I thought they were in houses. Oh! There it is! Comedy gold! Intense.
Okay, I'm just gonna go now.
Yeah, I'm just...
Thanks.
No! Fuck that, I'm staying here. My jokes are on fire today. Woo! Intense! Alright.
Unbelievable.
I'm not even sorry.
Going... When are you ever?
Good point.
Exactly. So going in, Daniel and Nick were... Obviously, it's a redemption series, so they were after redemption. Daniel...
Yes.
There was a pause in the middle of that word that didn't need to be there. Daniel had to score more than... Daniel had to score more than 8.5 points to be redeemed, and Nick had to score more than 8 points. And I'd say they did pretty damn well because they ended the game with Daniel on 15 points and Nick on 14 points.
Woo! Well done, guys.
Well done indeed. I gotta say, I didn't expect them to do so well. And to make things even better, as I have been saying, that I'm giving a chance to whoever scores the most points in the Redemption series. They get to go straight into the Hall of Fame. I'm looking forward to filling that puppy up. And it looks like so far Daniel is the guy to beat. He has the highest number of points accumulated in this series so far.
He's doing well. I mean, you know, well, for starters, like, how can you not succeed in life with a name like that? But no, I get what you're saying about how you were surprised how well they did. Like, I mean, you know, you were telling me before recording that episode that you thought both of them sucked. So, oh shit, I wasn't meant to say that. No, you never said that at all. Please continue.
Oh man, so round one, the multiple choice round, was the 80s category. Dan, I'm gonna hope that you did the 80s proud, and while you were watching, you scored a hell of a lot of points yourself.
I actually did. Now, look, admittedly, I watched the episode when you first dropped it, which was, I think, on Wednesday, was it? Was that Wednesday? Is that what it was? Was it Wednesday?
It could have been last century for all I fucking know.
Yeah. Look, I watched it, and it's been several days since then, so I can't remember exactly how I did, but I do remember that first round, I did really well. Those questions were quite easy for me, because I'm, like, extremely old, and I grew up with those movies, you know, like, all these kids today are like, 80s movies, they were before my time, and I'm just like, shut the fuck up. I was around then. I was actually going to cinemas and seeing these movies. But they were good questions from what I remember. Oh,
thank you.
That's all right.
Yeah, I mean, I love these guys. I love Daniel. I love Nick. Daniel has given me some great outtake moments in the history of this show, and God, I miss some good outtakes. If I was recording... If I had any of the footage of what I just recorded last night, that would make an entire video of just, the shitstorm that is this show. But, alas, I don't. So, I at least have those little nuggets, thanks to especially Daniel. And, and then he goes, well, I wasn't alive for the 80s, so I don't know anything. I'm like, come on, what, you don't watch movies? Exactly. I love 80s movies. I was born in 91. I love movies from every decade. Come on, people.
Exactly.
Surely we have moved past this really dumb statement. It's no longer an excuse.
I know.
It's not. It don't fly.
Look, I know. Like I've said it before. That you know, saying something you don't know it because it was before your time or whatever. That's just so ridiculous. Like, I mean, I've used the examples before of Nosferatu, for instance, which is from 1922. That's well before my time, like by 5 years. I know. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, like I know that like there's decades and decades of cinema that we've all seen and watched. Like, yeah, I think I said before, like, yeah, if you were say born in 91 and you've only seen movies from 91 onwards, then it's a valid excuse. But yeah, other than that, no dice.
Yeah, because funny how we say it about movies, but we don't say it about something like history, where, you know, if you ask someone, oh, what happened back then? It's like, I don't know, I wasn't there. It's like, oh, did you not go to school? Did you not learn about this? Or did you not even maybe watch a movie about it? So why do we say that about movies, but we don't say about history? I mean, we have access to things from the past. So just going, well, I wasn't alive for it. It's like, yeah, but they still exist. And you are alive right now. So
I know, next time someone says to me something along the lines of like, oh, you know, I don't know anything about 80s movies because that was before my time, I'm just going to say to them, have you ever fucking heard of World War II? If you have, then
what's
shut
that?
up. Yeah, exactly. For fuck's sake. Kids these days, it's because of their Fortnite video games and their flossing and stuff, and, you know.
Floss.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
back in my day, that was dental hygiene.
Oh, I don't know what the hell that is. But I like to think with the questions that I asked about things that I thought were quite quintessential 80s. I mean, especially I'm asking, like, which of these movies was released in the 80s? Well, that's a sum. I mean, Dead Poets Society was 1989, so that could be easy to mix and think 90s. So I get that's a little bit hard, but I mean, Commando, asking about Kenny Loggins, who's pretty much any song he ever did was in an 80s movie, so...
Actually, I got that one wrong.
You did?
I
Shame on
did.
you.
Oh, because I got Glenn Frey and Kenny Loggins mixed up. Because I think one of them was Beverly Hills Cop, wasn't it? And yeah,
it was Caddyshack, Footloose, Beverly Hills Cop, or Top Gun.
Yeah. I couldn't remember him having a song in Caddyshack, so in my head I said Caddyshack because I actually thought he did The Heat Is On, and then later on I was like, ah, shit, no, that's right, he wasn't. But I do have a bone to pick with all three of you, actually.
Oh, dear.
Oh, yes. How the fuck have none of you seen Commando? Like, one of the most quintessential Schwarzenegger movies ever made. Like,
I said I don't think.
None of you have
I may have seen
it.
I may have seen it. I don't remember.
You know, I nearly turned the episode off after
Was Alyssa
that
Milano
revelation.
in that one?
Yes, she freaking was, and
then
it's
I've
one of those
seen it.
cases...
It's just been a really long time, and I don't remember it. That's all.
That's one of those things that I always wrestle with because, like, you know, obviously Alyssa Milano is ridiculously hot, and you know, you watch that movie and seeing her as a little kid, and you're just like, yeah, I gotta try and separate those two things, otherwise I'm going to jail. No, never mind.
That's not really hard for us sane people, Dan.
Yeah.
Most of us can look at a child and not think of them as a sexy adult. We're not Trump.
Yeah. Because I'm kind of having that same thing with Emma Watson now, like when I watch early Harry Potter movies. Yeah, anyway. Look, this conversation's probably not going in a direction that I'm comfortable with. So, yeah, none of you have seen Commando. Remember that part, like, that I was saying? Yeah. So, well, you have apparently, but how do those guys, how have they not seen Commando? Like, honestly.
I don't know. I was definitely surprised by that. More surprised that Nick hadn't seen it because, you know, Nick was almost a Hall of Famer. He won 4 episodes in a row until he got knocked out in the 5th game. And he was always scoring so many points. He really knew his stuff. So for him to go and say, yeah, I haven't seen Commando, that was genuinely a surprise for me.
Yeah, look, I've already unsubscribed from his channel, and I've been this close to deleting him as a follower on Twitter, and just outright blocking him, really. But Yeah, but I mean, like that to me was even worse than the fact that no one could pronounce or spell Leonard Nimoy properly. Ah, what is wrong with people these days? Seriously.
I spelt it wrong?
Yes, you spelt it wrong, and everyone was pronouncing it wrong. It's not Nemoy, it's Nimoy, and it's pronounced Nimoy, not Nimoy. Ah, people. Honestly.
I've only ever grown up hearing it pronounced Nimoy.
Nope.
And not to mention when I was actually getting that, I wrote this question over a year ago.
Yeah, what? While you were drunk?
Not even over a year. I wrote this question back in November of 2018. And I remember that particular question was not one I made myself. I got that from a quiz website. And I did not recall Nimoy being spelled any other way, so I didn't even think to double check it. So now I have learned, apparently, I know fucking nothing. We can add that on top of the... You're only just learning this
now?
I'm a slow learner, obviously.
But to your credit, like, okay, yeah, you spelled it wrong, but everybody was saying it wrong. Like, everybody was saying Nimoy, which, yeah, I guess you could possibly.
Yeah, but I also grew up watching The Simpsons, and even in The Simpsons, they were always pronouncing it Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah. All right, look, pronunciation aside, though, you totally spelt it wrong, so, yeah, you know. But, look, that's fine. I'm still so proud to be featured on this podcast.
Hey, don't worry, we can follow that up with the fact that I left out an entire word in the following question about Bill Pullman, so...
That was amazing, wasn't it? Please, please, I'm really keen to hear your excuse on this one, because you totally changed the context of the question in that.
I effed up. I lied. I also lied on camera to save face, saying I can't read. I say that a lot. I can't read my handwriting, which is true. I can't. It's really shit. But also there are times where I've just realized I've obviously been corrected. I've written the question wrong. And I'm not prepared to admit that yet. So just say I can't read my handwriting. In this case, I did flat out write which of these stars Bill Pullman. Obviously, when I was writing it, I do tend to, when I'm writing something, I'm already at the end of the question before I finished writing it. So words do end up not getting put in there. And then sometimes I'll reread them. And if I'm very familiar with the subject, I'm like, oh, I left out a word, and I'll go and put it in. In this case, obviously, I didn't do that. And I should have said which does not star Bill Pullman. And luckily, at least, Nick knew well enough to go, all of those do except that one. It's like,
I just love the look on his face, like the utter confusion. It was so funny, and I can just imagine, like, pretty much everybody who watched that episode who knew the three answers to that question were probably also, like, with that kind of aghast look on their face. But yeah, no, because I remember, like, when you read the question, I was like, okay, well, there's a pretty good chance of getting this one right then.
Well, at least I fixed it when I was, writing it up, and it's more like, do as this says, not as I say,
Yeah, like, which just made it even more confusing.
Look at what's on the screen.
I know, but that made it even more confusing, because, like, I'm reading the words on the screen and listening to your voice, and it's like, wait a minute, those two things don't go together.
One of these things just doesn't belong here, and that's me. I mean, trust me, I was even looking at that and I was questioning myself, because I'm going, hang on, I thought Alien starred Bill Pullman. I'm like, nah, it's all good, and I'm going, well, I just made an ass of myself. Yay!
Oh, look, come on. It's not the first time, and it probably won't be the last. So, yeah, it's fine. You're doing great. You special...
Am I, though? I mean, what's more shocking than what you said about them not having seen Commando and me not remembering Commando? What's more shocking than that is Daniel not knowing what the truffle shuffle was.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I'm not even. I know this is going to be blasphemy to so many people. I'm not a really huge fan of the Goonies, but I do remember when it came out. Like
this podcast is officially over and will never come back again.
No. And I'll tell you what. Like, okay, when I was a kid and that movie first came out, yeah, I was all over it. I was collecting books and magazines and things to do with it, and I saw it at the movies. Like, I loved it as a kid, but a few years ago I rewatched it. Like, I bought it on Blu-ray because I thought, obviously it's a classic. I put it on, and I don't know, like, as I've sort of grown older and stuff, like, to me there was just way too much of people screaming at each other through the whole thing. And I don't want to sound like one of these, like, you get off my damn lawn, you crazy kids, or something, but it really was just, like, a lot of people. Like, seriously, next time you watch that movie, you just pay attention to how many scenes in the film have just got people screaming at each other, and, like, I don't know, it just sort of got annoying to me a little bit. Like, yeah, I still appreciate the adventurous spirit of it, and, like, great cast, great direction, everything. It is a good movie, but just too much screaming. But that being said, like, yeah, the Truffle Shuffle, come on! Like, how do you not know that?
Truffle Shuffle is always such a great joke to make, and yet there's Daniel thinking it's some weird, disgusting sex act.
Which, for some people, maybe it is. Who knows?
I know, and there's Nick, who, of course, is making the jokes because he... There was a lot of edited out moments. Nick was kind of cracking a lot of gel blasting jokes throughout the episode, and I had to cut them down for time. And of course he's making that because he thought we were saying jail blasting.
Yeah. Because I noticed he said something at the very, very end of the episode, and that was the only reference that I heard in it. Because I remember he said something on Twitter about how there was going to be, like, a lot of gel blasting jokes or whatever, and yeah, then there was nothing.
I believe I said, I think I said it was funny that, thanks to Daniel, that maybe Truffle Shuffle was the original gel blasting.
Right, yeah, so, oh man, anyway.
Yeah, no, there were far more, gel blasting jokes in there, which Nick threw in, because Nick listened to the last podcast. He always listens, so thanks, Nick. We appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks, Nick.
And he was listening, and he thought, while we were saying gel blasting, he thought we said jail blasting, which very is like a whole other level. That's XXX level. That's hardcore.
Yeah.
We're in the soft cores.
I've never been to prison. Yeah, I've never been to prison, and I've never had surprise sex in prison. So yeah, I'm not really any sort of authority on that subject.
There wasn't that one time at band camp?
Well, yeah, that wasn't prison though. But yeah. Anyway,
it's camp prison.
I'm not sure if being penetrated by a musical instrument counts as surprise sex, but. I'd rather not talk about that. So, yeah.
Well, after round one, because this is how numbers go, we moved on to round two, where I introduced a brand new category that not only was new to that episode, but new to the series in general, which was the Oscars. Because when we recorded it, the Oscars had not actually aired yet, and had I actually not done a Dan and spent my time procrastinating, I could have actually gotten that up a lot faster before the Oscars, and then it would have actually been a little bit more interesting.
A little more topical.
Yeah, what did you think of our surprise category?
Yeah, it was definitely trickier than the other ones. The Oscars is just one of these weird things that... I don't know, like, every year I watch it and I usually enjoy it and stuff, but then, like, the following year, or, like, the following month, I can't even remember what won Best Picture or anything. I think this time around is going to be different, of course, because it was, like, a historical thing, but, yeah, like, if you told me to name, like, the last 10 years worth of Best Picture winners, I seriously couldn't. I know there was Moonlight because of the La La Land controversy. So things like that, it's easier to remember, but it's just one of those things that kind of comes and goes from my brain. I am terrible at retaining data in here on the Oscars, so yeah, that was a very tricky round for me personally, and I don't know how other people went, but that being said, it was still fun. Like, yeah, it was a really fun round. Good questions.
Did you get any of them right?
Again, because it's been several days since I saw it, I can't quite remember how many I got right. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say it probably wasn't many, though.
Do you want a quick crash course?
Yes, gimme!
Okay, let's see what we have here. We have, who has won the most Oscars of all time?
Oh, yeah, God. Oh, actually, yeah. No, it's one of those things that after the answer was said, being Walt Disney, like, yeah, I thought, oh, of course, but like straight away I'm thinking like Meryl Streep and, people like that. So, yeah, no, that was a good one, but yeah, it was one of those ones that after the answer was read, I was like, yeah, of course I knew that. So, no, I did not get that one.
3 times in Oscar history, someone has been nominated for Best Actress and Best Song in the same year. Name one.
Did not get it, and that was really interesting that all 3 of them were just in sort of recent times. Yeah.
Really? You didn't even get the Lady Gaga one? I thought that would, like, that one at least would have been...
Oh yeah, but I didn't. No, that one I did, but not all 3. I could not figure out who the other 2 were, and yeah, my brain was like going way back. I was like, people like Judy Garland and stuff. I was kind of trying to think of that. I didn't come up with Audrey Hepburn as much as Nick did. He had such a fixation on Audrey Hepburn for so many answers, didn't he?
I know, and then I had to burst his bubble and say it wasn't Audrey Hepburn who has the record for most wins as an actress. It's Katharine Hepburn. And he's just like... Yeah. He looks so
whoopsies, wrong Hepburn.
Oh, there are a few Hepburns, confusion can happen. Yeah.
I'm even starting to wonder now if I got any of the answers right in the Oscars category. I don't even know if I did.
Daniel at least had good thought process going on answering these questions. I mean, he did great. He got a massive amount of points in that round, more than I expected. And I thought I was very generous, giving multiple opportunities to score some points. But, totally. He wasn't... His logic wasn't bad on saying Barbra Streisand, because Barbra Streisand has won Best Actress award, and she's won award for Best Original Song as well. They just never happened in the same year, or nominated in the same year either. So the thought process was there. We just didn't have I mean, I was surprised about Mary J. Blige, honestly. I did not even know she was in Mudbound. I haven't seen it. I've heard of it, but I didn't know she was in it. So.
Yeah.
Who won an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor or Actress with the least amount of screen time?
Again, I would not have had a clue. But this is the thing, even though it was one of those things, like, when the question came up and I was like, oh my god, who the hell knows that? But then I was like, wow, now I'm really interested to find out who it actually was. You know what I mean? Like, the questions were really, really interesting and really well designed. And, yeah, they definitely had me wanting to know who the actual answer was. So, but, yeah, I wouldn't have had an absolute clue about that one.
Neither would I. Again, Nick wasn't off in his guess when he said Judi Dench. Judi Dench is on the list of women who won Oscars for Best Supporting Actress with the least amount of screen time. That was, of course, Shakespeare in Love. And she was really not there for much. But she doesn't hold the record. First place was Beatrice Straight, who I've never heard of. For 1976 movie Network. I haven't heard of that one either.
Oh, I've heard of
So-
the movie.
I
There's a
haven't.
very famous movie, but I don't know if that
No,
person
not
actually
famous
exists.
enough,
I think,
apparently.
yeah, and I think maybe you might have actually made that person up. I don't actually think she exists. Yeah, like if anyone out there can actually verify that, what was her name again?
Beatrice Straight.
Yeah, sure. If anyone out there can verify that Beatrice Straight is an actual person, and we need a bit more proof than other than just like an IMDb credit, because like anyone can just make that shit up. Yeah, that'd be great, because I'm not convinced. Not convinced.
Okay then. Who won an Oscar for Best Actor or Actress with the least amount of screen time?
Yeah, nobody knows that. Seriously, nobody knows that.
Well, apparently Daniel did because he got it right. So.
Well, yeah, nobody but Daniel knows that.
And that one, of course, was Sir Anthony Hopkins for Silence of the
That's right.
Lambs.
And yeah, like these are all things that, like, you know, if you put your mind to it, if you had maybe a couple of hours to sit down and think about it over a coffee or something.
Here's the
like,
questionnaire.
You know,
Come back
maybe-
when you're done.
yeah, like graphs and pie charts and things, like, you know, yeah, but in the context of a quiz show where you've got like a limited amount of time, not that you do, why do you even have 10-second time limits? Like, because nobody adheres to them. If I was you, man, I would be putting my foot down. I'd be like, your time starts now. When it gets to the like 0-second mark, I'd be like, all right, you're wrong, you suck, get off my show. No, but yeah,
I probably should
everyone
start
seems
enforcing it more, but I just really want to give them
You
a
should.
chance. But there are
No,
times when I
fuck
say
'em.
your time is up and they still don't even they still keep thinking. I'm like, I
Oh,
did say your
God,
time is up. You
no.
can stop thinking now.
I know,
Um,
and yeah, like,
but-
I don't know. Am I the only one who, you know, just that grinds the gears a little bit? So you just fire down in the comments. Just let us know if you think the time limit should be enforced with an iron fist. Yeah. Or something.
Well, I mean, I did when I started watching the early days of Schmodown the other day, and I can't remember who the two competitors were, but the other one is getting so pissed off. He's like, "Can we get a clock on this guy? He's taking way too long to answer." He's like,
Exactly.
5, 4. He's like, no, time's up. He had his chance. He can get lost. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, that's probably how people feel with me. I'm like, can't say that I blame
Yeah.
you. That was pretty legit.
Exactly. So yeah, comment down below. Let us know.
Or not. You could just be nice and just not do that.
Do it.
Next up was how many films have won the Big Five at the Oscars. So the Big
Ah.
Five, for those who don't know, is Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, Best Actress, and Best Original Screenplay. So, did you get any of those?
So hang on, the question was it how many have won it?
Yeah. And then you
Yeah.
had the optional answer for points if you could name them.
Yeah. I actually did get that one, but it was a guess. I knew Return of the King was one of them. I
No, it's
actually
not.
thought... Oh, hang on, it wasn't?
Fail.
Oh, wow. Hang on, I was fucked up. I actually... And then my brain was
That
trying
was
to think...
Nick's guess, but he was wrong.
Oh, that's right. I knew someone said it. And again, it's been several days since I watched it, so bear with me here. Just, you know, I've had a sleep since then. I was thinking in my brain, like, initially Titanic, but then I thought, no, because, like, they didn't... That I know it won a lot of Oscars, but the acting categories weren't in there. So I was trying to... Oh, yeah, no, that was a tricky one. Which I know there are going to be people out there who are like, oh, no, it wasn't tricky. I know which two movies they were, and they were, of course.
Again, wrong. It's 3, not 2.
Oh, fucking 3. Well, I guessed 3 then. I know I guessed the right answer, but I didn't. I just plucked that number out of thin air. So, yeah, I knew.
We had
that I got
It
right.
Happened One Night, One
yeah.
Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and The Silence
That's
of the
right.
Lambs.
That's right, and Return of the King. Yeah. No, I actually wouldn't have guessed any of those three, to be honest.
Really? I mean, I at least knew the Silence of the Lambs, because that one, at least, the reason I remember it is because it's a horror film, essentially.
Yeah.
That won the Big Five, and I don't think that had ever happened in history. I think that was the first time that ever happened. That was a big deal then. We don't really get that kind of stuff anymore these days. No. I know I've said that in other podcasts, but...
Yeah.
But
no, I was sort of thinking...
I think I knew One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, but I didn't know it happened one night because I've never heard of it.
Oh, wow. Okay. Mind you, I can't talk. I'm just, getting everything wrong right now. But no, because my brain was trying to think of, more contemporary movies because, it seems to happen more now, pictures or movies get nominated for, a million Oscars and stuff. But yeah, no, so Return of the King was the only one of the two that I got right. Please move on.
Next up was what woman has won the most Oscars of all time? This is when Audrey Hepburn popped up again.
Yes, she sure did. Look, again, I got that one wrong. My brain went straight to Meryl Streep.
She has the most nominations for an actress. That's true.
I know, everyone just associates Meryl Streep with Oscars, don't they?
Well, I mean, she does hold the record for the most Oscar nominations for Best Actress, so you can't really fault that thought, because it's like, oh my god, it's another year. It's like, anytime there's a year where she's not nominated, it's like, is the world ending? What went wrong?
Exactly. What are you doing, Meryl?
But we had Edith Head, 8 Oscars, all for costume design. Daniel said he thought that it was for costume design. He didn't say it. If he had, it might have helped him a little bit, but kind of... I mean, that's kind of great that there's this woman who's winning all these Oscars because she's so great at costumes, which I think is awesome. That's an interesting fact to learn. But then it's also kind of like you go, huh. And it's not directors, it's not actresses, it's not writers, it's not composers, it's the costume designer. I'm like, oh, it's the woman sewing and all that shit who's I'm like, okay, there's something in this I don't like. Something smells rotten in Denmark.
But look, I know it's kind of a little off topic, but she kind of missed her calling, though, when you think about it. Like, if you had a name like that, wouldn't you start up an employment agency called Edith Head Jobs? Get it? Yeah.
You're an idiot. Oh my god.
Yep.
Okay, moving on from the...
Please.
Yeah, I'm not even going to finish that sentence. Next was, who has won the most Oscars in a single year?
Yeah. Which, again, after the answer was read, it felt so obvious. But, again, my brain was like, no, we need more time with this one. We need more graphs and pie charts and coffee. And... yeah, I was going through my head. I came up with nothing, to be honest. Absolutely nothing.
How very sad. I thought that some people would have at least gone, that considering Walt Disney, we've just learned from the first question, he won the most Oscars of all time, that maybe it would just be the powers of deduction that, oh, well, maybe he just accumulated a lot of them in one year. And that year would have been 1953, where he got 4. So he is the only person to have won 4 in a single year. Next after that is 3, where quite a few people have that. But he was winning for categories that we don't even have anymore. And it's strange looking back on what we had then, what we had now. I know a while ago I read a thing about categories that used to be nominated at the Oscars, and it's a shame because some of them I'm like, why did you get rid of that? That is a really good category, because one was like best stunt coordination, and I'm like,
absolutely.
That is such a great thing to have, because especially right now there are so many films that do involve really intense and really well choreographed stunts, and so I feel like it's important, whether it be films like John Wick or the Avengers movies, it doesn't matter, but it's just acknowledging
in theaters now, go see it,
or not, but we're not going there, please. I've had a bad day. Can we not, please?
Fine, let's not talk about Margot Robbie.
You can go make out with the poster later, okay?
Fine. I mean, what? No.
But
anyway, best stunt coordination.
But yeah, I think that would be such a great category to bring back into the Oscars, because it is something that is being more and more utilized in films these days. And the people behind it aren't really getting the recognition they deserve. I remember, I think it was, it might have been Vanity Fair's YouTube channel, I can't remember, but it was one of the magazines, and they were talking to the stunt coordinator for Atomic Blonde, and he was breaking down the scenes. He was showing what they did, how they did it, what they put into the scene to protect them. And when he's telling you the level of things that are done, even to the set alone, to ensure that the actors and the stunt doubles do not get hurt, it's amazing what they're able to make look like isn't there. Like, there was a scene where she slams the door of a fridge into some guy's head, and he was saying that's not really a fridge door, it's been taken out and there's something else there, so it's actually going to cushion when it hits him. And I'm like, it doesn't look like there's any cushioning there, but it was. And then saying, you know, you have to have them strategically placed in the right moment so that this can hit there, the camera's going to get the right angle, but nobody's actually going to get hurt. And telling you why cameras go into certain positions for the sake of making the stunts look more seamless. And then even saying, he's like, well, we had to do that one multiple times, and by the end of it, our stunt double was in a lot of pain because he got hurt a few times. And he's like, but that's the job. And he says, but we do try to limit that stuff. So you learn a lot, and to think that there was a category that could have given recognition to all that kind of sucks. I think there was also best musical or dance choreography, or just in general, it was for musicals and how they're intricately shot, not just when they do dance choreography, but like when you look at things like, for example, the Cell Block Tango number in Chicago, to film this whole thing and film them dancing and get all the right shots and it make it look really great. And it's just like, yeah, things like that do deserve recognition, and instead it's like, okay, we just won't recognize half the people in the industry. That's fine.
But they don't need
it.
With musicals and dance numbers, though, I mean, are there enough movies every year to, you know, justify that being an award? Like, I know back in the kind of 50s and stuff, there was a lot more of those type of movies being made, whereas now it's probably not that many.
But maybe there would be if there was a category for it.
Yeah, maybe, but maybe not. But no, the stunt one I can definitely understand, like, because that, is becoming more and more of a, you know, predominant thing in action movies and stuff. And not only that, when you look at it this way, you know, like, stunt people have died in movies, like, a lot. And
oh yeah,
you know, so I mean, I don't recall ever reading anything about, like, a director dying on a set from going action and stuff. So yeah, they probably do deserve more. But I think there were two reasons why I got that question wrong. One, it was a category that was eliminated like long before my time, and secondly, I was too busy laughing at Edith Head, so I didn't hear anything after that for about 5 minutes.
You're pathetic. The next question we had was, what film has the largest sweep by winning in every category it was nominated in?
Wait a minute. I think this one was Return of the King, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yes! That's where I'm getting confused with the last one. So, FYI, if you good people are still watching this podcast, you didn't switch off before when you're like, God, that guy with the stupid hair is an idiot. I was thinking of this one. No, this one I definitely got right. So, there you go. I think this was like the only one in the entire category that I actually got right.
Yes, it did go to The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, was nominated in 11 categories and won in all of them.
That's correct,
so it's a sweep, but it didn't get the big 5. I mean, technically, I can believe that, because who the hell would they have given Best Actress to for that one?
Yeah, exactly.
It is a predominantly male cast.
Ian McKellen? He had pretty hair.
We have Miranda Otto, but I would at least give her Best Supporting Actress at the least, not Best Actress.
Ian McKellen had pretty hair and he enjoys a good cock every now and then, so, maybe just give him Best Actress. What?
After this, I'm going to have to release a press statement going, I do not know this person.
Hang on. That is not a slur in any sort of way. Is it? No, it's not. Gay people like cock. It's just simple as that. It's not a slur. I'm stating facts here.
Well, not all women like cock, but you're saying that because he likes cock, he's a woman, but not all women like that, so...
I'm saying gay men...
Your logic is flawed, my friend.
Yeah, it is, but I've had too much coffee and I don't care right now. Oh dear. Anyway,
we're not here for your excuses. Next question was 12 people have been nominated for both Best Actor.
Empty. What? 12 people got nominated for Best Actor? Did they?
12 people have been nominated for both Best Actor and Best Supporting Actor or Actress. Sorry, both. In the same year.
Nobody knows that. That was way too difficult. By then,
Daniel
lost
got
interest.
2 out of 12. And he wanted to say Julianne Moore, but he stopped himself like the idiot he is.
Yeah, that's right.
An idiot.
That's not nice.
Nick struggled a little bit. I mean, there was some...
With life?
Excuse me, hiccup. There were some names in there that I have never heard before. I don't know Teresa Wright, Barry Fitzgerald, or Faye Bainter. I don't know these people.
No, Teresa Wright sounds familiar, but that might be because I know an actress named Teresa and someone else with the surname Wright. Maybe I'm just thinking of names and not specific people. I don't know what I'm doing right now. Yeah.
Neither do I. I'm delirious from lack of sleep, even though I did get in some rest. I don't feel like I did. So, the final questione of round 2 was who has won the most Oscars for music and composition? I had a feeling that one or both of them were gonna say John Williams. Because even when I ran the questions by my brother, I asked him and he said John Williams, and I went, no. And he went, oh, really? Because this entire category was my brother's idea.
Right.
This is a man who watches the Oscars every year, and when I was growing up, he would actually record the he would record the Oscars on VHS, and then he would rewatch them. And so he is just a fountain of Oscar knowledge in his head. And his birthday present to me was actually, I have it right here if I can just reach it. I have this piece of paper was my birthday present from my brother.
He went all out, didn't he? Jesus Christ, I actually put more effort into your birthday present than he did.
I know. He wrote down a bunch of little interesting factoids about actresses, directors, and stuff. And prior to that, he said, "I've got an idea for your game show." I'm like, "Oh, you do? That's cool." Well, what is this idea? And he says, "You should have an entire episode or an entire round that is all about the Oscars." I'm like, okay. Why? I don't like the Oscars. I don't give a shit about them. And then he is just throwing out all these really intricate facts. I mean, I think the first half the set of questions in this round were all written or created by my brother, because he's like, "Oh, you can ask this because this has only happened 3 times in Oscar history." And I'm like, okay, 1 second, hang on, I'm trying to write this down. Okay, he's like, and you can, I'm like, okay, hang on, I'm still trying to write down the first one. Give me a minute, please. And then, so he threw out all the ideas, and I went, you know what, it's coming up on Oscar season, I can work with this. It would actually be interesting. Redemption series is the best time to do it. And then I found this entire Wikipedia page, which was just full of details and facts about numbers of, people who are holding all these records, and there were like some weird records, and I'm like, awesome, this is great, I can work with this. And so the fact that not even my brother got the one about music and composition, I'm just like, and he was surprised. So, and he's just like, really? He's like, if it's not John Williams, who the hell was it? And I said, Alfred Newman, and he's like, I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, like who would have thought that the iconic mascot for Mad Magazine was also a music composer? Alfred E. Newman? No. Nothing? No. Alfred E. Newman?
No, nothing.
No. Nothing? No. Alfred E. Newman? No. Nothing? No. Okay. Wow.
Nobody?
Anyway.
No.
But the funny thing with that was, because, initially I thought John Williams, and then was it Nick who said James Horner?
That's hilarious.
What?
You said
What's
the funny
hilarious?
thing about that.
Oh. Anyway, was it Nick who said James Horner? Like threw that name out into the mix?
Maybe?
Because just before he said it, in my brain, I was like, James Horner, and then he said James Horner, and I was like, holy shit, I just said that. Get out of my brain. But then it turned out to be Alfred E. Newman from Mad Magazine. So, how do you fucking not know who Alfred E. Newman is? My God.
Because I'm not the age of a fucking dinosaur. I haven't been on this planet long enough to know these things.
Says she who chastised people for using the excuse that, things are before my time. So, yeah, good one. Anyway, look, I can't... But the fact that your brother gave you a piece of paper for your birthday, like, I guess he did put more effort into your birthday than you put into mine. So, yeah, I suppose he did all right.
Wow. Okay. All right. That's how we want to be.
No, look, I really appreciated all the sentiment that you showered me with for my birthday. And oh, no, hang on, that was someone else. That was my cat. What'd you do again? Oh, fuck, that's right, you forgot it. Yeah. Never mind. Sorry, this just got real awkward. I thought you were someone else.
Hey, I at least did something for Christmas.
That's true. You did.
Yeah. I was nice for Christmas.
Yeah, I know. Mainly because, Christmas is like a lot easier to remember, isn't it? What's Jesus got that I don't have? Why do you remember his birthday and not mine? I can walk on water.
Jesus wasn't even born in December.
Oh, whatever. Well, his birthday is celebrated then. So, yeah,
I know, because people are a bunch of idiots.
Let's just celebrate the birthday of some Mexican guy instead of me.
It's a pagan holiday, but that is another topic that I will not get into because it will set me off. We are moving on to round 3.
I know,
round
I'm just
3.
busting your balls.
Round 3 is the 90s, which is, you know, love my 90s. Wish I could go back. I miss the 90s. Decade. It scares me to think that the 90s was 30 years ago. What the fuck?
Yeah. It scares me to think that I was actually working in a cinema at that point when, like, you know, all my peers on YouTube are like, you know, oh yeah, I was born the year that Pulp Fiction came out and stuff. And I was like, fuck, man, I was ripping tickets and talking to people about it afterwards. But, yeah. Oh well.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's Daniel, born in the 90s, just like me, so you'd think he'd do better, and there he is saying, he's like, oh, I'm not so great with this one either. It's like, he's like, well, at least I was born for these.
Yeah. But
do
that
you
being
watch
said,
movies
like,
or do you not?
I mean, if you were born in the 90s, it doesn't mean that, you know, when you're a 2-year-old, you're going to remember, you know, watching movies in the 90s. So that's not a really good excuse, but oh well.
Well, I mean, we had, this was, of course, the lightning round, as the Redemption series has lightning rounds. Boom,
sure
boom, boom,
does.
boom. I don't know why I'm doing that. Like I said, I am delirious. But the fun thing is that this was the first time that both competitors had answered all 10 questions.
They did.
They answered them all correct.
No.
But they did get them all. And I was incredibly...
aroused?
Impressed?
Oh, yeah.
No.
Oh, no, that was me. Never mind.
No, I was...
What can I say? Like, you know, the stress of a time limit gives me a boner. But anyway, please continue.
Are you also someone who likes to have car batteries attached to your nipples?
No. What? No. Let's just say it wasn't just the coffee that's making me hyper today. Yeah. No, that's silly. No. I much prefer to have a car battery attached to my testicles. But anyway, yeah, lightning round. Woo! They got all the questions answered, but not all of them right. That's what you were saying. Man. So please continue.
So Daniel went first. I mean, I think for the most part, I think there were some tough questions in there. I admit that.
There were some, yeah.
But others that I thought were really easy. I can't believe he missed the one about the usual suspects.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm like, even if you haven't seen it and you don't know who Kaiser Soze is, like, everybody just kind of seems to know usual suspects, Kaiser Soze, like, those words go together. I knew that long before I ever saw the movie, and Will and Grace actually spoiled the ending for me. They did reveal it. I'm like, well, going into this now, I already... Yeah, it was, Will was sitting down in front of the TV, and Jack sits down. He's like, oh, what are you watching? He's like, oh, The Usual Suspects. They're just about to reveal who Kaiser Soze is. And Jack goes, oh, it's blah, 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 and turns off the TV. He's like, well, fuck that. I just... Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
But, well, let's see. We've got Pulp Fiction. I thought again that was kind of common knowledge. We knew that was the whole point of the overdose. She thought it was cocaine, but it was heroin. Name the thieves in Home Alone. He thought I said themes, so fair enough. He misheard me.
Yeah, and to be honest, that's not a movie I've seen a lot. I would have just thrown out the Wet Bandits. Would you have accepted that, or were you specifically after the names?
I was specifically after the names, but I may have been generous and given out at least half a point for understanding their alias. So
yeah. So no, I mean, and it was one of those things that after the answer was revealed, I was like, oh yeah, that's right, that's their names. But yeah, I've never been like a huge Home Alone fan, so I did not get that one.
Mrs. Doubtfire, what is Stu allergic to? I guess you'd have to be someone who just watched it a few times to know the answer to that one.
I've only ever seen that movie once, and that was back in the 90s, so I did not have a chance of getting that one right. I mean, good movie, don't get me wrong, but I just haven't rewatched it since then. Oops.
I mean, so Daniel got 3 out of 10 right, which overall, considering the lightning round is hard, that he did good. I thought he did good. He could have done better.
Well, my definition of good is vastly different to yours, but that's okay.
I can't believe I had 2 competitors who have not seen Hocus Pocus. It's like they were doing this on purpose.
Well, you have 2 competitors and a co-host who have never seen Hocus Pocus, so there you go.
Okay, what the fuck crazy land am I living in? People have not seen Hocus Pocus. Come on!
I don't want to watch it because it's a movie with female leads in it, and that threatens my masculinity. No. Sorry, I'm just being a Twitter bro. No, I don't know. Convince me. Why should I see that movie? Because I have no interest in it. I don't really know much about it or anything. I know they're witches. That's all I know about it. So please, sell me on this movie. 25 words or less. Go for it.
It's fucking hilarious.
That's 3.
Lots of jokes at a virgin's expense.
That's 10 words. You got 15 left. And you're not really selling me here.
Talking cat.
Oh! Well, hang on, I live with one of those. That's really not selling me at all.
Gary Marshall and Penny Marshall play husband and wife.
Sorry, what? Talking cat. Right. Yeah. No, look, I don't know. I know that movie has a really big cult following and everything, and like I probably should see it, but it's one of those movies that just, I don't have that motivation. I don't have what it takes to push me to actually turn it on and watch. Although I do have Disney. It's probably on Disney Plus, I guess. I don't know. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, I will watch it at some point. Yeah. I don't know.
I love it. It has that 90s Disney movie charm. It also, on top of that, it has some semi-dark themes. I feel like Disney in the 90s, they were prepared to go dark. They're not really as prepared to do that anymore. So I like that. You watch it as an adult and you go, okay, kids are actually getting murdered in this thing. Did anybody actually pick up on that? No?
We're just going to
distract.
See, this is selling me. This is selling me a lot more than Gary and Penny fucking Marshall. Dead kids, yes.
But no, it's true. I mean, they're witches. They're killing children, stealing their life essence, and then the witches get hanged.
Better.
So they're dead.
Yes, love it.
And then, of course, but they cast a spell, so they come back.
Right.
But that's always only if a virgin lights the black flame candle, which the dickhead went and did. Because he's just like, oh yeah, nothing's gonna happen. Pyong! Oh look, shit hit the fan! Ha ha ha!
That's selling me a hell of a lot more than fucking talking cats and virgins being made fun of or some shit. Like, yeah, wow. See, now you're getting into the meat of it. Now you're getting into the nitty gritty.
Okay, the witches want to chill.
Yeah, they just want to chill, They just want to chill with some children. Wait, what?
The witches wish to kill all the children in Salem.
Well, alright, see, genuinely, everything you just said in like the last couple of minutes has actually made me want to watch the movie now. So there you go. Marketing 101. Now you know how to sell a movie. Get into the dark stuff.
Okay, I will make mental note. Thank you for that.
That's okay.
Moving on, inventor in Edward Scissorhands. He got that right.
Oh, yeah.
It was Vincent Price.
One of my most favorite actors of all time ever, so there's no way I was getting that one wrong.
Bless him, Vincent Price. Such a great actor, such a classic. I think it was great that they even had him doing that appearance. There's just something about... It's such a small moment in the film, but it's just so good.
Oh, God, yeah. No, he's just... There are no words to describe his brilliance.
Well, I'm sure you could think of a few, but that's for another day. Aliens and Independence Day. He didn't say the exact answer, but I gave it to him anyway because it was pretty much the ballpark.
Yeah, that was a vague
and then he was being
area.
Yeah, and then he's being a smartass. He's like, isn't that the objective of all aliens in every movie? No.
Yeah.
No, it is not. Not in every movie. It wasn't in Men in Black. That was not their goal.
That's true. Mm-hmm.
At least not in the first one. Okay.
Wasn't in
The
E.T.
Ace Ventura... That again true? No, that was the humans who were the dicks again. Ace Ventura Pet Detective, I admit that question was a little hard, asking the team that the Miami Dolphins played.
Yeah, because, I don't know, that question leaned more towards sports than movies, so, I am a really big Ace Ventura fan. I've seen that movie a lot more than I've seen Hocus Pocus.
Is it the Hawaiian shirts that did it for you?
The funny thing, back when that movie came out, and I just had this conversation with someone a couple of days ago, back when that movie came out, I had a very similar kind of manic sense of humor to Jim Carrey, and I was working in a cinema, so of course when that movie came out, so many people would come up to me and be like, oh my god, you're just like him, and it's like, come on, man, this was my thing before he started doing it. And it was kind of, and then of course, Jim Carrey's star just absolutely skyrocketed, and he started bringing out a whole lot more movies, being that crazy kooky person, and I just kind of lost interest in being like that anymore. So it was kind of funny, his rise to fame actually changed me as a person. It sort of subdued my sense of humor in a way, or so it wasn't so much the Hawaiian shirts. It was more finding a kindred spirit on screen in a way. And
then you created Bongo.
Yeah, well, that was a long time after, but it was funny that cinema that I worked at, we used to do a lot of costume promotions, when movies came out, a bunch of us staff would, walk around the shopping center giving out flyers and spreading the word and stuff, and so of course when Ace Ventura 2 came out, everyone was like, oh my god, you need to be Ace Ventura, you've got to do this thing, and I was like, oh shit, okay, so I wound up being on arts and crafts duty. I had to actually make an albino bat out of cotton wool and cardboard, and they put a Hawaiian shirt, put the costume on me, tried to get my hair in a similar style to his. I remember sitting there oh man, they were trying to work on that for so freaking long, and then I then had to go out and be Ace Ventura for a few hours, so that was interesting, but no, so as far as the question went though, man, I really couldn't think who it was because I don't know anything about sports whatsoever. And I was like, fuck. I mean, I remembered the Dolphins, obviously, but could not remember who they were up against.
Well, that would have been too easy because we know the whole plot is about a dolphin being stolen, so can't very well say that because it's duh. And they're American, so... I think at least an American is going to know, which football team has a dolphin as a mascot. It's well, also on top of that, it wasn't Nick's question, but he would have known because Nick he lives in Florida, so...
Right.
If anyone's going to know about the Miami Dolphins, it should be him. Mm-hmm. American Pie, where is Nadia from? Again... I would acknowledge that was a bit of a tough one if you haven't seen it multiple times.
Yeah, because
I don't think anyone would have said former Czechoslovakia.
No, God no, because from a guy's perspective, it's more a case of who the fuck cares where she came from. So
Excuse me.
Shannon Elizabeth. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, please continue.
Well, at least we had her back for The
Jay and
Silent Bob reboot.
Yes.
Sorry,
Kind
I'm
of a
sorry.
stupid cameo,
I'm
but,
sorry.
yeah.
I said her name wrong. I'm sorry. I should have said Boo Boo Kitty Fuck. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Then, of course, we had Nick's questions. Nick was flying through these. He finished his even faster. So he's now got the record of finishing them in a quick amount of time. He got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He got 6 out of 10.
Which was actually a coincidence because from what I've actually heard from Twitter ramblings and stuff, back in high school he also had the record for finishing the quickest, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, so he's just continuing that tradition.
Do you actually have friends?
No. I live alone with a cat.
I feel like although I think it would be pretty fair that nobody was going to get the first question, it didn't help that I stumbled on my words and did not ask the question correctly. I'm sorry, but it's okay because when we went over it, I do go over the questions and answers at the end. I just don't do it on screen. And he still had no freaking clue. And that, of course, was what actor, also known for playing Batman, had an uncredited appearance in 1992's Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah.
I did not phrase that correctly, but that was the actual question.
Yeah.
Would you have guessed Ben Affleck or?
You know, the funny thing is, I sat there, I'm going through all the Batman actors in my brain, and oddly enough, for some reason, my brain skipped over Ben Affleck, which is really odd because he's my favorite on-screen Batman. I will die on that hill.
Really?
He, to me, was the ultimate screen version of Batman and Bruce Wayne. But for some reason, my brain's going, Michael Keaton, George Clooney, Val Kilmer, Adam fucking West, Christian Bale. Like, I'm going through, I'm like, who the fuck was in Buffy the Vampire Slayer? And like, so I didn't actually get it, and it wasn't until later when the answer was revealed, I was like, of course. Like, So, good question. It was a really good question, because it was slightly tricky, but yeah, good question.
Poor Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
I do think it's a shame that he isn't getting the chance to do more with Batman. I mean, good for Robin Pattinson, but it's just...
Did you say Robin Pattinson?
Robert Pattinson, I'm trying to say.
I'm pretty sure
I can't
you said
speak
Robin.
I probably did, but I'm delirious and sleep deprived. Leave me the fuck alone.
Wow! First you had Batman and Robin, now you've got Batman is Robin. Wow!
Oh, man. Okay, see, you can't write this shit. You just
Exactly.
can't.
That's why this is so much fun.
But yeah, I think it's great for him. I think he'll probably do great things with the role. But it's just like every time you kind of get comfortable with an actor playing a role, they go and change it up, or they're like, cool, let's just reboot the story. It's like, can we just stick with one? For a little bit, just stick with one.
Yeah. The worst part this time around is that, like, this new Batman film is part of the DCEU, so it's the same, you know what I mean? It's the same Batman that Ben Affleck was, so, yeah. I mean, I know they did it in Marvel, like, with, recasting the Hulk or Bruce Banner, but, yeah, at least the Edward Norton version was just sort of one film, and then Mark Ruffalo just took that role and owned it, whereas, now we've seen, like, the Ben Affleck Batman pop up in a few movies, even though sometimes it was only, just for a minute or whatever, but, like, he's established in that role, and so now we've got someone else taking over, and, yeah, and I know that this is, like, Batman's second year. I know we're going back to a younger version of him, but...
I mean, if they could at least maybe try and say that he's a younger version of Ben Affleck, like, I don't think they look anything alike, but if they at least tried to sell me on that, I would go, okay, I can respect that, because then that kind of leaves room, and you could say, yep, Ben Affleck can still do it. Robert Pattinson is just going to do the younger version of him instead of us trying to, Irish man Ben Affleck to look younger.
yeah. I'm going to reserve all judgment till I see the film. I mean, this is something that I've learned along the way that it's just impossible to judge a film based on its trailers. I mean, like, most recent example, I know you didn't like Birds of Prey, but for me, like, the trailers just look so iffy, whereas the movie itself, I fucking loved it so much I went and saw it 3 times. And, like, I mean, in the past, we've had things like when the first X-Men film was being made, and they had all these pictures of the characters in black leather costumes, and at the time I was like, what the fuck? You don't put X-Men in black leather. It's got to be like the blue and yellow. Come on, what are you guys doing? And then, of course, the movie came out and was like, oh man, in the context of the film, that really works. You just got to reserve judgment till you actually see the film, and I'm very much doing it with this one. I'm hoping that it's going to be great, but yeah, we'll see when the time comes, I guess.
I'm not. I don't typically judge a film based on its trailer. I'll judge a trailer based on its trailer. I will, of course. And of course, I'll get really irritated if I go and see a film like, once again, you have misled me because what you sold me in the trailer is not what I'm watching. And the only time where I can say that they were 100% honest with Birds of Prey, because everything I hated about the trailer was exactly what I hated about the movie, and I thought the trailer was shit, and I thought the movie was shit. So,
fair enough.
There we go on that one. But I did see someone post something. I don't know if it was somebody I followed who posted it, or if it was someone I followed who was retweeting it, where someone said that they showed their girlfriend the picture of the Batman stunt double on the bike. And he's like, oh my god, you gotta look at this. And the girlfriend apparently replied with, wouldn't he be instantly killed the moment he hits the brakes on that thing because of the way it's designed, would like pretty much cut him in half, and he's just like, you're ruining everything. And I'm just like, I'm looking at the picture, I'm like, that is a really good point. That bike is not safe for use at all.
Yeah, true, very true.
I mean, considering this is Batman, he is bound to crash through some buildings. He's going to hurl into something. Something's going to hit the bike at some point. So you think he would have made something that's going to be less fatal upon impact? So, for that reason, I've got to agree with the girlfriend on this one. Sure. I do not think that motorcycle is safe for Batman use. Maybe another person, but definitely not Batman. Moving on from Batman, I asked a question about Mrs. Winterbourne, and I used to watch this movie so much when I was younger, there was probably a chance they didn't even know what I was talking about. But asking how many characters does Brendan Fraser play, I don't know where he picked 6 out of. I mean,
I know, but I guessed that one right.
You did?
I've never seen that movie before. I've heard of it. I did not know that Brendan Fraser played multiple characters or whatever, but I'm sitting there and I was like, I don't know, 2 sounds good. It was 2, wasn't it?
It was 2. He played a set of twins.
Thank God. Yeah, okay, I didn't fuck it up again. So, I don't know, I just kind of thought, 2 sounded logical, like, I don't know. Any more than 2, you're going into slapstick comedy territory, so...
going into 6, I'm just like, immediately I was thinking of that Michael Keaton film where he clones himself. You know, he's got duplicates.
Or any of those Eddie Murphy
I'm like,
films
well, if
where
it was
he played
that
his
kind of film,
family and stuff. Yeah.
That is true. Which Star Wars alum plays the group therapist in Austin Powers?
Easy. That was, of course, Chewbacca. No, it wasn't. It was Carrie Fisher. Carrie Fisher, rest in peace. Yeah.
Oh, I miss her dearly. Yeah, I don't know. Anytime you talk about, like, whenever we talk about people who were in Star Wars and appearing in other films, you don't really call them Star Wars people. Like, if it's Harrison Ford, he's always just Harrison Ford. He's not Han Solo. Because he has been so many other things.
Kind of iconic. Yeah.
Yeah. But everybody pretty much just calls him Harrison Ford. They don't really call him anything else. Mark Hamill has played so many characters, whether it be voice acting or acting, so even if he's like playing the Joker, so he'll either get called like Luke Skywalker, he'll get called the Joker, but he's got all this stuff. But Carrie Fisher, although she has done so many things and so many things that people don't even realize, but she's you is often referred to as like, oh, this Star Wars person was in this, because it was Star Wars that really kick-started her career, despite the fact that she was the daughter of Debbie Reynolds. And it's funny because I followed up that question with asking, what is Drop Dead Fred in Drop Dead Fred? If you haven't seen that movie, We Cannot Be Friends. It's one of my favorite films of all time. And it's funny because Carrie Fisher was in that film too. So that's 2 Carrie Fisher films in a row. Yeah.
Are you saying, it sounds like, maybe, I don't know, it sounds like you're saying Carrie Fisher. But
I'm saying Carrie Fisher?
Carrie.
What's the diff?
Are you saying Carrie or Carrie?
I don't know. Check your headphones. We're moving on to the next question, which was, who plays Captain
Hook? in the
Hook?
comments. What are you hearing? Are you hearing Carrie or Carrie? This is like that, what was that audio clip that got the whole world talking over like the 2 different, like Laurel and fucking something else? Yeah. Anyway.
Whatever. Who plays Captain Hook in Hook? I thought that was another pretty easy one.
That was an easy one.
I was tempted to write a really tough question in that one. I said I was going to ask which I was going to say something like, which female Oscar nominee plays a pirate in Hook?
Right.
And see if anybody picked up on that, because that's something still a lot of people don't know. But if you... And then there are that other people who know those random interesting facts. Do you even know what I'm talking about?
I never know what you're talking about.
Oh, that's fair enough. And that's fine.
Seriously. What am I even doing?
No, there is... do you remember much of Hook?
Oh, you're going to make me say it, aren't you? You are going to make me
You've never seen Hook.
To all those people who are watching this now, both of them, that I have never seen Hook.
Wow. Hook solidified my love of mermaids. Damn.
Boobs
Shut up,
solidified
Putty.
my love of mermaids. But anyway, see, even Putty's never seen Hook. Yeah, no, look, it's you know, again, it's like Hocus Pocus. It's one of those movies that I've just never really been that inspired to watch it. I know a lot about it, I really do, but yeah, never actually.
You are missing out. Dustin Hoffman is unrecognizable in that film. That is for sure. I mean, it was years before I even realized it was him. People kept saying Dustin Hoffman. I'm like, who did Dustin Hoffman play in that film? He wasn't in it. It's like, he was Hook. I'm like, what? Yeah. What? Really? But no, there's a scene where there's a pirate who is gotten on Hook's shit list, and so he receives a punishment. He's put into a chest with some scorpions, and the pirate in question was not actually a man. It looks like a man, and you can go and Google it. It was actually Glenn Close.
Oh, wow. Essentially in
male drag. And the day I found that out, I went, no, it wasn't. And I'm looking, I'm like, no. That's a dude. That is a dude. No. That's not Glenn Close. And then the more I'm looking at it, I'm like, holy fucking shit.
Wow.
It's Glenn Close with the best makeup job I've ever seen.
She
like,
does
what
kind
a random
of have
thing.
Masculine features, though. Like, she does have that kind of hard face, I guess. So, yeah.
How dare you? We had a lot of easy questions.
That's not an insult.
Whatever. We had a lot of easy questions going in about Silence of the Lambs. He did really good with the Shawshank one because Andy had a few jobs, but he got the correct one of which one he had first. Good Will Hunting, Gus Van Sant. Not a lot of directing credits to his name, so I guess he's just kind of synonymous with Good Will Hunting.
Yeah.
The Sandlot, even I grew up watching The Sandlot. My sister got that for me, so I think a lot of people should know that that's about baseball.
I've never seen the film, but I knew that it was about baseball. Like, I remember the video cover and stuff, so yeah. No, that was super easy.
God, do you even watch films?
Well, yeah, obviously.
But the highlight of this entire round was watching Nick absolutely kick himself for getting the Titanic question wrong by 1 year.
Yeah, and as you said, like, based on the GIF and the memes and everything, like, yeah, that was so easy.
He was so close. He was just off by 1 year. So as soon as I said that, as soon as I mentioned the GIF, not only is Daniel laughing his ass off, but Nick is dying because he's like, I use that fucking GIF 1,000 million times. He's like, oh my god, I use it all the time. And so now it's just a running joke and that's why even when I posted it, I'm like, it's been 84 years of editing.
I saw that, yeah. But it was probably, he had the pressure of that time limit and the erection that comes with all that, suspense and stuff. So, yeah, it's understandable, like, to make a little, faux pas such as that. But, yeah, still a shame.
I know, but I love seeing the competitors do well. And it's unfortunate when they get things wrong, and believe me, we're going to have stuff to talk about in the next episode based on what I've just recorded. There's going to be a lot of material for us to talk about. But aside from that, it's honestly really fun, and it's not a dig at anybody. It's fun when you watch people fuck up, but it's only fun if the people are good sports about it.
Yeah.
And they can just roll with it. Because then everybody can kind of have fun. And then you can, like Nick, we talk to each other in the DMs quite often, and he's still making jokes at himself for the 84 years thing. And he's just like, oh yeah, I'll reply in like 84 years. And I'm just like, oh, we're still writing that one, are we?
Right.
So it's great. And I love seeing them have a good time with it. That is the whole point of this. If you can't have a few laughs along the way, it's not going to be that great.
Yeah.
Ben, of course, I'm mentioning Ben because he's in the Hall of Fame, and he's had episodes where he has been kicking himself for getting something wrong, but he's still such a great sport about it, and he'll make jokes at his own expense, and so it makes the whole atmosphere more fun, not just for recording, but for people who are going to end up watching the episode in general. And it makes me in those moments, I'm like, afterwards, I'm like, I have to keep this scene in. I know that the video is going to run a little late, but I have to keep this in because it's just too good to leave out. I'm like, I want them to know you are suffering. I want to watch it more.
It's evil, but I like it.
But it's great, and, we've had Ben calling Anthony out, challenging him for the Hall of Fame matches, and Anthony fucking making his own Iron Miracle belt, which is fucking epic.
Yeah, I saw that. That was so cool. So cool. I was
giddy as a kid on Christmas Day when I saw that. I'm
imagine.
Like, when the fuck did you do that? And he's like, I had free time this morning. So it's like he saw the tag, listened to the podcast, heard the thing. He's like, okay, I'm going to go and make this makeshift belt. I'm like, as much as I'd love to go with that, I don't think I can. I think the Schmodown might kick my ass. But I'm still thinking I have to do something. But it's great, and that happening and everybody being such good sports lately has really prompted me to come up with some interesting challenges to be ahead in terms of where I can take the show and what I can create for it. And so I've been planning out the Battle Royale with the Hall of Famers return to get their true glory, and I know I ran some ideas by you and you weren't happy with them, so I changed that idea. True. So I did change it a little bit, and so now I came up with something else. I'm not going to tell you what it is because I'm happy with it. I don't care. I didn't copy the idea from anything. It was my own idea, and I'm happy with how it went. So very good. Let's just say I'm going to make them jump through some insane hoops during the battle royale. And then after that, I was inspired by RuPaul, and I'm like, and after that, we're going to have some all-stars matches. That's what we're going to do. Wow. Where people who've won the battle royales are going to come to really duke it out. So nice. I'm like, this shit will never end, everybody. You will never be free. Yeah, I'm just going to keep torturing people. That's basically my plan.
Hey, why not? Like, yeah, you kind of almost like a female YouTube version of John Kramer.
Interesting. I don't know whether to be flattered or insulted.
Yeah, I don't know if I just complimented you or insulted you, but whatever.
Knowing you, it's somewhere in the middle. Yeah. Somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, that sounds like right. My style. It's like, wow, thanks for that. Wait a minute. Yeah. Anyway.
Overall, I think that the game show episode was good. Do you agree?
Absolutely, I really enjoyed it. It was, and especially that end result. I liked seeing the two of them like redeem themselves so freaking much, but I liked that it was such a close result at the end. Like it just made that lightning round so much more enjoyable to watch. I thought all the questions were great. I thought the Oscars category, as difficult as it was, at least it was really interesting. Like that's the thing. I think if you have a round where the questions are difficult, but they're not that interesting, it's going to sort of put you off wanting to watch it. But anytime a question came up, which actress won Best Actress in Song or whatever, it's like, wow, okay, I have no idea, but I need to find out. So, it was good. Overall, great episode.
Well, I'm glad that you think so, because your opinion sometimes means a lot to me.
Yeah, and you know that I'll always be honest. If you come up with a whole bunch of shit, I'm going to point it out. Like I did with the whole Leonard Nimoy thing and stuff. So, I'll call you up on when it's necessary.
Who bloody cares? Anyway.
I reckon Leonard Nimoy probably cares.
Great episode. That's who. Oh, piss off. Anyway, this has been a great episode. This is the third episode in the Golden Ticket podcast.
This has been my favourite one. I've just actually had more fun than I normally do. I don't know if that was because of the cup of coffee.
You've been very switched on today.
Yeah, I have. I imagine there are probably actually people who are still watching or listening to this, even now at this point. So, if you're one of those people, well done. Congratulations.
I know. They're going to be watching and going, who is this Dan? It's like a whole different personality.
I think last time I was a little bit tired. Maybe. I don't know. But I do want to also apologize to everyone if there have been little squeaks throughout this, because it only occurred to me not that long ago, because I'm one of these people that sort of, taps my leg if I'm sitting still or whatever, and I think, I can't quite hear, but I think my chair might have been squeaking every now and then when I do that. So if there have been little squeaks in the background, I apologize for that. That's actually my chair and not my knees.
It's fine. But please, if you are listening or watching on YouTube or via SoundCloud or iTunes, and you are unaware of the other things, go and support those other things. Also, if you are on at least some of these, you will find in the descriptions, maybe on iTunes, maybe not, I don't know, not quite sure, don't remember. But you will always find links to my stuff, links to Dan's stuff, so you can go and follow him on social media. You can go and subscribe to him on YouTube so you can watch his crazy stuff, and go and check out his furry friend, and you can also go and check out his buddy Bongo.
Wait, what?
On top of that.
Oh. You're not putting my Pornhub account on there, are you? I really must shave that thing.
I think you accidentally leaked it the other day.
No, that was Jared. Wow, we've actually gotten through this whole thing without mentioning his name up until right now, so
and it's always you. It's always you. Jared's just a permanent fixture now. But we have had a blast. I've been severely delirious, but despite that, I've had many a laughs, and it has been great breaking down this episode, talking about shit with Dan. As always, I have so much fun talking with Dan, even if sometimes I maybe want to just give him a bit of a smack. Just a little one. Just a little.
But
maybe
the best part is you can't, because you're 1,000 miles away, so I can get away with almost anything. Yay!
I will be sending him anthrax in the mail.
What, the whole band? Cool!
But thank you so much for tuning in and listening or watching to today's podcast. If you haven't seen the latest episode of Are You a Movie Oracle, you will find it on my YouTube channel, which is the Movie Oracle, Dan Scaring Me. So definitely go and check that out, and check out on anything else. Maybe go and listen to our previous podcast episodes, and as always, support Dan. He deserves it more than I do.
Oh, it's not so much I deserve it, I need it. Please, come on! Come and subscribe to my channel so I can be as popular as
If you don't
else.
subscribe to his YouTube channel, his cat will eat him.
Yeah, that's right. Hey,
but that is enough.
Ideas. Yeah.
That is enough from us. We are going to leave. Yeah. He's got stuff to do, and I've got a bed that is calling my name. Come to me, Ashleigh. So we will catch you in the next episode, where we've got a lot of shit to reveal. So until then, bye.
Be good to each other.